I'm Dr. Sandra Brown. I'm an ophthalmologist in North Carolina, and I have no financial conflicts of interest. I'd like to talk to you about Diagnosing ScamPharma, Part 6A. Dr. Socialize will see you now. For a little background, these are the eye drops formerly known as Biologic. I'm not sure how old you have to be to get that joke. But anyway, Regener-Eyes, or regenerative processing plant if you will, makes two products, Regener-Eyes Lite and Regener-Eyes Professional or Regener-Eyes Pro. They use those terms interchangeably. And in the past, these eye drops were heavily marketed as being biologic products. Well, that's a naughty thing to say about your eye drop, especially if it doesn't have an approved biologics license from the FDA and drug approval in general. So that marketing had to go. This leaves a vacuum, new marketing rolls in. Talking about social media, let's talk about Facebook. As seen on Regener-Eyes' Facebook page, its unique components. Now you might be wondering, where is the rest of the screenshot with the other words? I had to cut them out because I didn't want to get any nasty letters from any individual key opinion leaders, attorneys. Let's pause and consider the definition of unique. My high school English teacher used to be enraged when people would talk about something that was mostly unique because, as the dictionary says, unique means being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else. The only one of its kind. This seems like a bit of a non sequitur, but I've said it to you many times. DailyMed is your friend. When you go on DailyMed, you can enter the name of any drug product you want in that search bar, and then the drug's going to pop up. You click on it, and you have to scroll way down. So that's the key. Don't stop with the early information. Go down to the very bottom and click on Ingredients and Appearance. What do we learn about Regener-Eyes Pro when we click on Ingredients and Appearance? The active ingredient is glycerin, and the inactive ingredients are sodium chloride and water. Regener-Eyes Lite, same thing. Active ingredient is glycerin, inactive ingredients, water, and sodium chloride. So Snail has to ask, what unique components? To which I say, right. To reiterate, the actual ingredients in both Regener-Eyes eye drops are glycerin, water, and sodium chloride, which is table salt. And oopsies, no preservative. Let's talk through those ingredients. Maybe it has unique glycerin, but yeah, no such thing. All pharmaceutical grade glycerin is chemically identical. It is 99.7% or higher glycerol, which is a specific molecule. And organic glycerin is just glycerin made from non-GMO vegetables, as opposed to used French fry oil. How about the water? Is the water unique? Well, hopefully the water's sterile, and I gotta say, I really hope that Regener-Eyes isn't sterilizing that water themselves, although the FDA inspection makes me wonder about this. And by the way, distilled water is not the same thing as sterile water. And for those of you who are waving your hands and saying, well, maybe it's ionized or deionized or alkalinized or any of those other kind of things you can spend extra money for in a bottle of water these days, ionized water has a high pH and is a bad idea in an eye drop. How about the salt? Maybe it's unique salt, like a little something extra besides sodium chloride. Yeah, well, something extra besides sodium chloride is known as impurities. And I really don't think you want someone grinding up some Himalayan sea salt and throwing it in your eye drop. Here's the other problem with unique. It's not unique. I mean, well, damn. Even the unis match. So this is a product called Iganics. Iganics Organic Tears. Iganics, ingredients, active, glycerin. Inactive, sodium chloride, and water. Now, what's a uni? A uni is a unique ingredient identifier. And if you want to pause this video and reverse it and prove it to yourself, you can see that all those long unis next to each ingredient match across all three products. Regener-Eyes Lite, Regener-Eyes Pro, and Iganics. So this is a ha-ha moment because it's just not true that Regener-Eyes eye drops have unique components. Not only do they not have unique components for eye drops in general, but they have exactly the same components as Organics. But wait, is there a secret unique ingredient? Is this ingredient so secret that it doesn't have a unique ingredient identifier? Well, the FDA says no uni, no putty in bottle. And I could not resist pointing out another ingredient without a uni, snake oil. Snake oil is anhydrous chinensis oil. And yes, I looked in the uni database to see if they had something for anhydrous chinensis oil, and they didn't. And psst, that potential secret unique ingredient is not amniotic fluid. Here's a couple screenshots from the FDA inspection of regenerative processing plants in Palm Harbor, which took place in June of 2023. If you want to read it yourself, the Form 483 is conveniently available on biologiceyedrops.org, and the unredacted version is coming soon. We're very excited about that. I am going to read both of these to you in detail in case you're watching and not listening. So these are screenshots from that report. Number 1, specifically, it was observed that retained samples pertaining to your Regener-Eyes Pro and Regener-Eyes Lite amniotic fluid ophthalmic eye drops, which you reported to FDA were discontinued in June 2021, were not retained. So the FDA is mad that Regener-Eyes didn't keep bottles of its products for 2 years, which is to say up till expiration date, which they were supposed to do. But the key thing here is that Regener-Eyes is telling the FDA they discontinued their amniotic fluid eye drops in June of 2021. And a little bit later in the report, specifically during the inspection on June 22nd, 2023, in response to a request for records pertaining to Regener-Eyes products derived from amniotic fluid, discontinued in June 2021 as per your chief strategist stated that she could not locate any records. So, the VA has its knickers in a twist because you're not supposed to throw out records related to drugs that you sold to American consumers. But this is the chief strategist herself, quoted as saying that the amniotic fluid eye drop product, which many of you probably thought you've been using for the past couple of years, was discontinued in June of 2021. So where does this leave Regener-Eyes in 2024? Basically between a rock and a hard place. The rock, there's no secret unique ingredient. Amniotic fluid was stopped in June of 2021. The manufacturer is riding the placebo effect of the original biologic advertising. And the success of the strategy is dependent on key opinion leaders to perpetuate the myth. The hard place, there is a secret unique ingredient. It might be biologic, but it's still worthless. And for education on why it would be worthless, please see the videos, Placentas from Strangers Parts 1 and 2, and Sludge. If there's a secret unique ingredient, whether biologic or not, Regener-Eyes is lying to the FDA. This is illegal as all get out. And yes, you should care. The new marketing is very social media based. Basically, Regener-Eyes is working those social media ropes, and to help them do this, they have converted their old clinical advisory board into something they call social-eyes. And they've got a groovy new graphic that goes along with it, and that big S thing over there on the left actually sort of twinkles at you when you look at it on their webpage. Dear Social-Eyes key opinion leaders, you've put your reputation behind this product. It's time you asked Regener-Eyes a yes-no question. Does Regener-Eyes contain amniotic fluid? If they answer yes, then they're lying to the Food and Drug Administration. If they answer no, then I presume that they've been managing to mislead you and therefore your patients for several years. Once again, do you really want to be in bed with this company? Signed, Dr. B. And for patients, be smart, ignore social media, do your own research, and remember, Daily Med is your friend. Thank you for listening.